Hey, this is Sam Leonard. Now in today's video, what I'm going to talk about is embracing uncertainty, because this is something that I've had to do recently. And so I thought it would make a really good video to follow on from what I was talking about before, about facing your fears. Because with embracing uncertainty, this is something I've had to do recently. I had to co-host a Zoom call with a friend of mine. You know, I was a bit anxious beforehand, and you know, we get this uncertainty beforehand, but you know, until you actually do it, you can really deconstruct it and you can learn lessons from it. And it's really important, because yes, I've talked about facing your fears and it's very similar, but the thing with embracing uncertainty or getting comfortable being uncomfortable is that, you know, when people just sort of, they look at other people who are more confident or doing the things they want to do, who are public speaking, who are, you know, they look like it's so easy. But in reality, that a lot of the time, it's not like the anxiety is particularly gone or anything. It's just they got used to it. They got used to it. They got comfortable being uncomfortable, living in that space of not so much living in that anxiety or being constantly in it, because it does reduce. Because whenever you do these sort of things, you're expanding your comfort zone. It becomes comfortable quite quickly. But it doesn't mean that anxiety, that nervousness will necessarily go away. And this is something that you know, I came across, because yes, most of us understand a lot of this stuff on an intellectual level, but until you actually do these things, you really understand, okay, this is what it's like to be in that space of uncertainty, to have that slight anxiety, that nervousness, and just do it anyway. And it's very much like when the jumping out the plane analogy, you know, most of the worry, the nervousness is beforehand. When you do it, then you're in it, you're in the moment, and you just got to go through with it. So this is what I've noticed. And what I would say is that, you know, once you've done it, you do get a real feeling of elation, of like, well, actually that wasn't that bad. Because, you know, a lot of the time we build up a lot of these things in our mind, all this self-talk that we have beforehand. You know, we think that things have to be perfect. We think other people are, you know, they're better at doing it, or we don't have something of value to contribute. All this sort of self-talk that we have. And we realize when you start embracing uncertainty and you start doing the things that are uncomfortable, doing the things that you need to do to grow, you realize a lot of this stuff is not actually, it's not real. You know, it's similar to the things I was talking about before with limiting beliefs. A lot of the stuff that we have, a lot of these limiting beliefs, they just come from, you know, past experience, or, you know, our perception of other people, of who they are, of the experience they have. Oh, look at them, they're really good at what they do. Or judgments, judging other people, judging ourselves. Often when we judge other people, that's because we have a fear of being judged. So obviously, often we think other people will think how we're thinking, and it's not always the case, you know. So embracing uncertainty, getting in that space of just being uncomfortable and just being okay with it. You know, we don't have to be perfect. You know, other people, when you talk to other people about this, a friend of mine that I talk to about this, Dave, he's like an accountability buddy. We'll talk on a frequent basis about things we're doing within our personal growth and how we can grow together. And we talked about a lot of this sort of stuff. And when you talk to other people about this sort of stuff, and we talk to people on the Zoom call about this, you know, you realize that everyone is actually thinking the same thing. You know, we make up this fake construction in our mind of other people not having the same worries and same anxieties and nerves, you know, and we, on the other side of that, we put people on a pedestal, people who are comfortable public speaking, or you know, or similar things. We put them on a pedestal and we think, oh yeah, it's so natural, you know, they look so good, or it's so easy for them. But you don't know the journey they've been through. You know, that you don't know, they could have been extremely nervous. You know, I listened to some comedians this week, and one of them was talking about when they first got up on stage and the sort of worrying they had, and their performance was dreadful. I think, well, that's completely different. Imagine getting on stage and, you know, trying to make people laugh. you're not just getting up in front of people and talking. You're you have this you're trying to make people laugh. You're not just standing there talking. And just imagine the anxiety they must have had. And I think, well, if they can do that, then I'm sure I can do some things to push myself out of my comfort zone as well. So we imagine that people are just they're natural and they're good at these things, but maybe they're not. Maybe they've been through a lot of this anxiety, they've pushed themselves, and that's where they are. You don't know their journey. So there's two different sides to this, and both of them come back to the fact of embracing uncertainty and realizing the false beliefs, realizing that other people are going through the same things. And once they've gone through those things, yes, they seem comfortable, but they probably would have gone through the same things as you. So this makes us become a lot more selfless. It makes us understand other people are going through the same things. It makes us cultivate some humility of okay, I need to grow here, and understand that other people are going through the same things. And when we do this, we can really understand that everyone is going through the same things. We're all trying to grow in these different areas, some of us more than others. If you're quite heavily into personal development, then you're probably embracing a lot of this stuff, or you're trying to. And that's all you can do. Try and be the best version of yourself. That's all we can really ask of anyone. So yeah, that's it for this video. Just wanted to talk about embracing uncertainty, getting used to being nervous. It's okay. Most of the time you probably don't look as nervous as you think you do. Most of it's inside. Yeah, it might affect your voice or whatever it is, depending on what you're doing. I've done a bit of public speaking. That's just a very similar thing. It's very nerve-wracking, and it's one of the biggest fears. But once you do it a few times, it does get easier, and you just get used to that slight nervousness, and you get used to also remembering that the anxiety, the nervousness is always worse beforehand. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope it helped you. Let me know in the comments if there's anything that you're doing to embrace uncertainty, getting used to being comfortable, being comfortable at being uncomfortable. And yeah, let me know in the comments, and yeah, I'll see you on the next video.